What's up everyone, welcome back. I'm gonna give you some tips on saving money with fishing line. You don't have to sacrifice, you can still get the good stuff if you use these tips. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. And like I said in a couple videos ago, I'm gonna start doing more videos focusing on bass fishing on a budget. You know, things are expensive now, inflation is killing us, but you don't have to sacrifice. You know, if you want good fishing line, still get it. But there are some ways to save money on fishing line. These are things that I've done for years, and I've written some articles about this. I haven't done a video specifically on this, but I've written an article or two about this all the time. And these tips hold true no matter what kind of line you use, whether it's monofilament, braid, or expensive fluorocarbon. These tips will save you more money. The first thing to do is when your braided line gets a little bit discolored like this, you know, it's starting to get a little bit whitish, just reel it back onto another reel. So this is a very simple way that you can save money, extend the life of your braid, really double it, put it onto another reel, because that braid that's all the way at the bottom still has color, it's not frayed, there's really nothing wrong with it. As we know, braid lasts forever and ever. It doesn't have any memory, so just reel it back onto another reel. Very simple. So obviously braid has no memory, but monofilament and fluorocarbon, it has memory. Like look at this reel. This is really good quality line, but I haven't used this in a few months. Look at that, it is curly Q, just because I haven't used it. You can still fish it obviously, but what I would do, or what I will do before I fish this bait again is, I will cut this bait off, I'll tie a big loop around there, and I'm gonna put that on the back of my trailer hitch. Really anything stationary, you can put on a doorknob, anything. I'm gonna walk back at least the length of a cast. I'm gonna have some tension on it like I'm fighting a fish, and then slowly reel as I'm walking to it. What that's gonna do is gonna stretch the line. Now, this is not something you could do all the time, because as you're doing that, it does damage the line a little bit, slightly by stretching it, but it's gonna make it much more manageable. It's gonna cast a lot better, you're not gonna get as many backlashes. So that's a simple thing you can do, but again, don't overdo it. But just stretching, a little bit of stretch in your line will get that line back to it. The other thing that's really easy to do is to buy line in bulk. Obviously, it's gonna cost more money, but you're gonna save money in the long run. Number one, the line is cheaper per yard if you do it that way. And the other thing is when you're done with the bulk spool, look at this, there's hardly any line left on it. But if I had 5 200-yard spools, I would have 5 spools with a little bit of line on it that's not quite enough for a reel. So basically, again, doing the math, you're just gonna have one little spool like this with kind of unusable line, or you could use it for leader material or anything else. But it's much better than having 5 200-yard spools with only a little bit of line on there that's not quite enough to fill a new reel. So buying bulk will save money just by that. The next one is very easy as well, is use backing on your reel before you put that new line on there. You are never gonna cast as far as a full reel, you're just not gonna do it. So putting about half of the reel with old line, it could be any kind, before you spool on that new line is gonna actually save money, because you don't have to put as much line on there. You're gonna be able to change it a lot faster. There's so many benefits to doing that. The other thing too is on this, you want to keep your reel as full as possible, especially with bait casting gear, because it's gonna cast further. You know, some people just spool a full reel and then reel all the way down. You know, as they're cutting line, as they're retying, they just wait till it gets low before they put new line on it. This is a much better solution, because as you have a less spool, like if I was to fish this right now, the actual gear ratio is different because it's spinning it on there tighter than if it's a full reel. So it's actually gonna affect the performance of your bait, your retrieve, and your cast. So fill it about halfway with some old line. A lot of times I'll actually use old braided line because it's lighter, and I'll use like high vis line from my spinning reels that's kind of gotten old that I've flipped back and forth. That will be my base on the bottom. Then I could put the new line on there, and then you could start seeing when that brighter color comes out if you're using a high vis green or something like that. So that's a simple way you can do it. And the last is simply just using braid to fluorocarbon or braid to anything else. Have a fluorocarbon leader. That way your braid's gonna last longer. Use a fluorocarbon leader so you get the benefits of braid, and then you have that fluorocarbon leader. You can mix and match with different pound test leaders. You know, if you need to go heavier, you're fishing heavier cover, you can go with a heavier leader without having to change your whole setup. So braid to fluoro is awesome. Braid lasts longer, again, because it has those properties of not deteriorating, memory, things like that. So braid to fluorocarbon on spinning especially, incredible casting distance, sensitivity, so many other things. Research the knots, there's tons of great ones out there. I just use a modified Albright. It's really simple. You know, you can go a little crazy and do the FG, or you can even go simpler and do the uni to uni. So check out some of those videos on YouTube to find out how to tie it, and once you do it, it is a breeze to do it, even on the water. But I use spinning braid to fluorocarbon almost exclusively, but I also do it some for bait casting, you know, flipping and pitching, things like that. You can do that, you know, use a 30-pound braid and, you know, 15, 20-pound leader, whatever it is, mix and match. But braid to fluorocarbon will help you save money on fishing line, and it will go further just by using a fluorocarbon leader. So those are a few tips that will save you money in the long run. Don't sacrifice, still get that good line, but by doing this, all those things I just told you, you will save money and you'll still have the best line out there. Thanks for watching.